Coach. Thanks for your time. And in summary, Coach, your thoughts on the match, cup competition that brought out the best in both teams, but just how it went tonight.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity and good evening to everyone. Yeah, look, I think we came into this game knowing very well what is at stake. Cup game. If we don't grind results, then that means you're out. So I think we came with one thing in mind, to give our best and make sure that we go to the next round. And unfortunately, it wasn't to be. I think when you look at how we applied ourselves in the game, I think we started very slow. We allowed the opposition. I would say we gave them a little bit of respect in the first 20 to 25 minutes. Of which it was a little bit disappointing for the fact that we were playing at home. Should have been the ones. Should have been us that dictated, terms than them. But unfortunately, that's how we started. We only reacted after conceding a goal, and then it was more like a wake-up call. We started playing better, though we were playing in patches. I think we only had one shot at goals first half, and that was obviously quite disappointing when you look at the quality of players that we have in the squad. But maybe they were just trying to get to know each other, some of them in terms of obviously the approach. And I think second half we had to make two changes. Play now with two strikers. We brought in players knowing very well that now we'll get the supply from wide and also be able to hold the ball a little bit. So I think it worked for us. For the fact that we started creating, goal-scoring opportunities, we managed to hold the ball a little bit longer and waited for the right moment to attack, and we created, chances. Unfortunately, we did not take them, and on the front foot for the better part of second half. I think from there anything could have happened because now it was more like end-to-end stuff. Whenever they had counter attacks, they looked like they could score. But I must say the recovery players at the back as well, we managed to defend, and Ofori as well, kept us in the game. And yeah, I think we know we could have done better. And if we were lucky enough, I think we shouldn't even have to go to extra time because we had two close range, shot at goals. And fortunately for their keeper, the ball came to where he was standing and couldn't pick the spot, and that's it. So, but you cannot falter the effort of the players. I think they gave their all, they gave their best. Even in the extra time, we just considered critical phases of the game when we were supposed to be switched on. But as you know, when the energy levels are depleted, we're bound to make mistakes, and are costly. But as I said, I cannot falter the guys. I think they gave their all. They gave everything, and even after conceding, we still came back. We created another 2-3, clear-cut chances, and we were still not clinical. So I think we'll take all the positives and move on. We know it's gonna work going forward.
Coach Sabonga, colleagues, please show your hand and please introduce yourself, please. We'll start with the two gentlemen.
Hi Coach, I am the news of Stellies FM. I'd like on the results. Coach, I know during the week you spoke about the squad and obviously your opinion of it. You used quite a lot of your players today because obviously you had extra time. On the grander scheme of things, now that you've seen them play an actual official game, Are you optimistic about the quality that you have in your team, just going forward in the future? I know you guys lost a game today, but looking at the squad that you have and how the boys applied themselves today, is there a degree of optimism about the future going forward?
Yeah, look, there is no doubt there's so much quality, in the team. You must have seen. Obviously, they are coming from a situation where they've lost 3 games before this one, and the morale in the squad, was a bit low. So it was our responsibility, obviously, to try and lift up, the morale in the squad and make the players start believing in themselves even more. And you must have seen today, though I believe, we could have done better, but I think the way we exerted ourselves, I think there were, a lot of positives that are going to work for us going forward. So also making them also start believing in themselves even more. So there's no doubt about the quality that we have from the bench. And look at with the same the approach, first half, and when we realize that it's not working, when we made changes, look at the players that came from the bench, immediately their impact, was positive. And that tells you that we've got the depth, we've got the young players that are promising, we've got also the senior players that are willing to give their best and lead the young ones, and which is, a good thing for the club.
Coach, good evening. Lusanda from Soccer Lab Duma. I just want to get your thoughts on, what you said to the troops at halftime, because they came out quite spirited. As you pointed out, you guys were in the front foot for most of that second half. What was said to sort of galvanize the troops in the second half? And secondly, Richard Ofori put on a pretty solid performance today. Would you comfortably say that he's the club's new number 1 goalkeeper?
Look, we know that first half we did not play well. We know that we could have done better by far. And we actually did not manage to keep the ball for too long. Every second ball we lost it. So, in simple terms, I'd say we lost all the battles. That is why they were on top of us. Playing in patches. We couldn't connect at all. We didn't have numbers, to invade the box and create goal scoring opportunities. We did not detect teams in the middle field. They always, had more numbers than us. And hence, when you look at Ofori actually kept us and considered one should have been more. But I think after now showing them, half time as to why we're not dealing with all those problems, or we couldn't deal with all those problems first half. They could see now, okay, this is how we should position ourselves, and obviously the changes that we made a huge, positive impact, and to stabilize the team as well, because what was the problem was every time we played the ball first half to Junior, he didn't have support, sometimes he lost the ball cheaply. And now they were getting the momentum. They were now keeping the position, playing their own game, waiting for the right moment, and target the space. And they've got players who understand. There's chemistry in that team and understanding. So that kind of made us look like now we are not a good team, and yet we have good players. And in second half, as soon as we rectify some of those mistakes, then we look better. That is why second half was far better than first half. Created a number of chances, though we still played in patches. If we were consistent, we could have maybe created even more goal scoring opportunities and punished them, because they were there for the taking at some point. We were just unfortunate. So I cannot fault the effort of the guys. They gave their all. It wasn't to be. As I said, we'll look forward. We'll take all the positives, and they want to work for us, because we have a lot to play for.
Okay.
I'd like on the last coach. So I'm going to be at Sports Wire. Coach, the Kunene was substituted on in the second half, and then again in the extra time he leaves the pitch. He's replaced. Not a usual occurrence in the game. He looked emotional from where I was sitting. I don't know from you, coach, but just the idea behind that substitution, perhaps.
Yeah, look, if you look at what time he was brought in, and I think he made, after touching the ball for the second time, he made a mistake that we nearly conceded, and it was maybe 1 minute left, if not referee's optional time, and you could see he couldn't recover from that mistake. We tried to keep him in the game, because for us, we in the first place, we knew why. As soon as we bring him in, he's going to give us something. He's a very nippy player. He's a very direct player, but he wasn't himself. And now, obviously, we are chasing the game. We needed to have more firepower. We needed to get players that can be able to supply, Ego, up front there, Budbule joining, and also the other winger, Jury, supporting on the other side. So, couldn't have now space to keep on losing the ball, and that time, unfortunately, we needed a player that that can take the game to them. And you must have seen the sub that we made in Jobe. He gave us something. That's what we were looking for. So look, he's a young man. There's no doubt he's talented. We will work on him. We didn't want to take him out. We wanted to keep him on the field, but because this is a cup game and we are chasing, we wanted to equalize and possibly get the winner. And unfortunately, we couldn't. And we'll try to encourage him and probably still be part of the team going forward. It's not a train smash for him. He'll learn from the mistake, and maybe it's more mental, in his case, because just one mistake and then he was. Now, he made those mistakes repeatedly, which was a bit, a concern for us. But we don't doubt his quality. He's a top player. He's a top player. He's still going to get his opportunity once more.
Yes, Coach, can I just clear on the last round of questions, Mazola and any more takers? Okay.
Coach, I just want to go back to Richard Ofori. I know it's one game, but I mean, if a player is a quality player, you can see that he maybe is getting a bit of a fresh start, and I suppose you can relate. You played for the traditional big clubs. Do you feel this is what he needed, maybe just to move away maybe from the limelight? He came under a lot of pressure at the AFCON as well, with Ghana not doing so well, crashing out of the competition, but do you think being away from all of that and starting afresh at AmaZulu is something that he could need? And maybe sometimes a player moves from Maritzburg or whatever and then goes to Orlando Pirates, the environment maybe doesn't suit him necessarily, and when he moves away, he starts fresh up again.
Yeah, when I look at Richard, I think what killed his momentum was the injuries. If you remember when he was at number 1 at Pirates, he was doing very well, and then until he was injured. And I think when he came back, he was not himself. And then immediately, I think he played for about a month, if I'm not mistaken, or less than that. And then he was out again, for a very long time. So obviously, being number 1 in the national team, being number 1 in such a big team like Orlando Pirates, and when someone comes in, then does well, now you're better to come back, and claim your position. You've got to compete now, and it's exactly what is happening, on our side as well. Now with Richard been given the opportunity, and he did well today, and Velu as number 1 has been doing very well, and unfortunately, because football is a game of mistakes. So I think when it comes to that, it's a healthy competition. Everyone has a chance to prove himself, and everyone, we believe in them. We know that they're going to give us quality. The more you have the competition in the squad, the better, and the team will perform, because now everyone will know. No one will, everyone will be on his toes, and work hard, to play because it deserves to play, not because maybe we have challenges here and there. So that's what we're trying to do right now, and. In Richard's case, is no exception, I think.
Coach,
Coach, just the last from my side, Pirates next. Do you think can get something there based on what today's game? Because, as I said, from my side, I saw a lot of encouragement.
Yeah, look, we want our players to play without fear. You know, you can't be in the Premier League and have fear, you know, to win games. We can beat anyone. I mean, Stellenbosch, with the quality team that they have, last week they were playing in the final. You know, they did very well in the final, and we gave them, you know, a thing or two, or you know, to learn from us as well. So it wasn't a walk in the park for them. When you look at where we come from and where we are right now, anyone could have said, no, Stellenbosch, they are through already. As much as they are through, but they know they had to dig deep in order for them to go through to the next round. So there are no easy games in PSR, and we still have a lot to do in terms of trying to make sure that there's tactical flexibility in the squad, there's tactical understanding and tactical endurance. All those things, they're going to help us. You must have seen today our tactical endurance in a way was fluctuating. You know, we maybe had a lot of sort of like consistency in it, and then it should have paid off. But yeah, like I said, you know, we are not worried about the oppositions at the moment. We are worried about our squad. You know, we want to get the best out of the players.
Coach Zwane.